talking about the Newman. So, from which sources did he draw power, and which influence tactics did he use? So, for me, he drew power. He had legitimate power because we are told that he was the co-founder and CEO. He was a co-founder and a CEO. So, by default, he had legitimate power. So, other sources of power that he had?
I think he has the referent power. Is that right? Because he attract many followers through his personal charm and willingness to take the risks, and his attitude also enhanced his influence among their employees and other investors. So that's what I think.
Okay.
Okay.
We can't hear you, SK.
Sorry, guys. I'm saying that I also think that he had coercive powers, and we are told that there are instances where Newman had control over his employees. Reportedly, he was following what they called like a cat-like culture, so he had coercive powers.
Sana?
Yeah, and he had those like kind of influence tactics. He used inspirational appeals. Like Newman was known for using grand visions to inspire a lot of things. Then he used his personal appeal, like he got in close and almost like made a close relationship with the employees, so that he could like align personally with them. Then he used the pressure tactics, where like he pressured employees to work for certain hours and align with the company's high intensity culture. So that kind of like did a loyalty, which like made them like a loyalty thing to do that work.
Yeah, so I can add on influence tactics. He also used coalition building. We are told that he built a core group of loyal followers, creating a culture of belief in his vision. So he had people who were following him and believed in his vision. Any other before we go to the next question?
Yes, I can add more on the personal appeal. He had personal appeal. He had a personal charm and ability to connect with other investors on an emotional level. And this helped him to secure funding, and even in his business decisions, even if his business decisions were somehow questionable sometimes. So personal appeals.
All right. So the second question is about the traits he possessed and the traits he lacked. So I'll start with what he possessed. I can say he possessed charisma. He had enthusiasm and confidence, which helped him attract investors in his organization. And on what he lacked, or can we first talk about what he possessed?
Sure.
Okay, I just did. Another person?
I think he also has some ambitions, because the people always thought that he had a very smart head and some ambitions, because he was always pursuing a very bigger and a very aggressive goals, such as he want to get some office on the Mars and the global expansion like this.
SK?
I think he also had very strong confidence in himself, and he believed in his own abilities, and this in the end helped him to lead with conviction.
Okay, I would like to add up the things he possessed. He had a very good vision, like he had a strong and clear vision. He's the workplaces. And after that, one more thing he possessed was that he was a very risk-taking person. Like he would take massive risk, which actually set him apart, and which drove the rapid expansion of the company in the case study.
Really.
What traits did he lack? I would say he lacked self-regulation. For instance, we are told that he liked partying lifestyles, and also he used to make some very, very erratic decisions. So yeah.
I think his lack of the humility, maybe is that right? Because he always thought he's right, and he cannot hear anybody else and ask what he need to do, and nobody can stop him from doing what he wanted. So he often overestimated his ability and has many shortcoming in various fields. That's all.
Also, I think he also lacked emotional stability. You see, when you have you are overconfident, sometimes it's very easy for you to be arrogant, and also in decision making or your decisions, some of the decisions that you make sometimes look impulsive to others. So he lacked emotional stability.
Okay, I think so. He often like avoided taking responsibility. Like if things would go wrong, he would blame it on someone else. He wouldn't take the charge on himself. Like it happened due to him, he would just blame that. So that again comes into accountability. Then he had this prudence thing where he used to spend excessive spending, and like he had unrealistic expansion goals, which showed that there's a lack of attention. And the last one, as SK said, emotional stability. He used to make impulsive decisions, and like he had very erratic behavior. So there are these signs of like low emotional stability in him. So these were the traits like he lacking. That's what I felt.
Did anybody say about integrity? That I would think he lacked integrity, because when you have questions revolving around like transparency and how finances are used, that automatically brings about the issues of integrity. So
yeah,
meaning that there were some ethical gaps that he had. So anybody else? We can go to the next question. Question 3. So, question 3 is about the behaviors that he exhibited and the behaviors he failed to exhibit. So I would start with the behaviors that he exhibited and say that he had visionary leadership. He was a future-oriented person, and he was driven by innovations. So he had the vision of the organization with him. Yeah.
Can we say also that is transformational leadership? That point. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
He was good with micromanagement. Like he involved himself in various things of the company, the small things, and like many things where he was passionate about them, he like did go up and work on them. So I would say he had a very good micromanagement behavior in him. And if you'd like to add on more, like we said in the previous question, like he was a very big risk taker. That thing can be it can be a good thing or a bad thing. So if we say in exhibited behaviors, that I think so we can consider that as a good point to of him, that he was a risk taker, because once he takes the risk, we can know that that risk is good for him or not. But it's a 50-50, I would say. Risk taking as one of the exhibited behaviors, but I don't think so that's that good of a behavior.
Just to add on what Osama is saying is that it said that he's a risk taker. In the beginning, that trait worked for him, but in the end, it backfired. So it's like he said, it's a 50. It might work in the first or may fail.
Mm.
So it's not guaranteed
that it exhibited behavior or not.
sure.
Okay. You mean?
And I think he also displayed the inspirational because he always say something to his employees and the investors, just like the big goals for them, and also encourage them, like them to work hard. He gives their more emotional help maybe, and let them to believe him and work with him, and I think it's something fake for them, but it's like a dream for the employees and make them more like to work.
Okay. Have you said charismatic?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. What behaviors did he fail to exhibit? So number one, I would say that he failed to exhibit accountability because he lacked financial discipline, and also he lacked transparency. Yes, there was no accountability.
On that, like we can add up, he even failed to exhibit integrity because of
Yeah.
his bad accounting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Accountability and integrity.
Yeah.
So I think also he was not a task-oriented person. He lacked focus on operational details and governance, and he was often criticized for being disconnected from practical aspects of running a business. So he was not task-oriented. Yeah.
okay.
Are we talking about the undisplayed behaviors, right? Okay.
Yeah, the behaviors he failed to exhibit, like in which he was not good at.
I think he is not very good because the ethical behaviors. The things he does in the case, I think it's not very ethical, and he always do many. I think it's the bad decisions for the companies, which will make the company worse. And I think I saw that there is something like the finance. It's not very clear for the for the employees and investors, and also the society. So I think it's not very ethical for the company and for everybody's.
Yeah, I think so. Like, he was not good in making decisions. Like as we said earlier, he was a risk taker. He was not having proper integrity or accountability. So all those things would sum up like he was not good at making decisions. He has a lot of his focus on ambition rather than feasibility of the things to do. So like he had over ambitious goals, which is not a practical decision to make because he was using up companies' funds, and like he was actually misusing his power. So that's what I say. He was not making practical decisions.
Okay.
Basically, we can say that he lacked ethical leadership behaviors in general. So, yeah.
All right, we go to the next question. It is about contemporary leadership approaches and concept, and we asked to specifically rate Newman in terms of his humility, ethics, and followers' behaviors. So I would say about humility, I would say that he lacked humility because we are told that he was overly confident. He was overconfident, and when you get overconfidence, you might like not be humble. So that is, I would rate his humility, like he didn't have that humility because of his overconfidence personality.
There is also the followers' behavior. Because his followers were very inspired by his vision and his what he has talked about, but his decision become increasingly. I think it's not is irrational, is become very irrational, and that's like the employees and investors become disappointed. So although they have promoting their culture, their company culture is the we, but I think the many decisions they have made is it's not about the we, it's just about myself and their and his personal interests.
Okay, I would like to speak on his ethics. Like, his ethics have always been questioned because of his misusing of funds, his misusing of power. Like, he would lease the properties he owned back to the company, and like again, then his lack of ethical integrity, which damaged the company's reputation. So he was not so good with his ethics. That's a big thing. Like again, as we have spoken about his integrity, that damaged a lot of the company's reputation. And as how Yemen said, and the impact on the followers' behavior, I would like to add up on it. Like he was overworking and burning out him and his followers were following him. So that again disappointed the investors and the other companies which invested in the company.
Yes.
Yeah, let me sum up the whole the three issues. On humility, I think he was far from being humble, and actually he viewed himself as the savior.
Yes,
And he had a very extravagant life. So humility, he was even out of 10, I would give him a 1, probably, or a 2. So on ethics, he raised so many red flags, sorry to say, and also we have been told that he manipulated the WeWorks financial for his personal gain. So his integrity was tainted. And on the followers' behavior, we are told that he was like this person who values loyalty, and they viewed him as a cult leader, which is also not a very good thing especially for a leader. That's it.
Yeah, so that's it for number 4. So now we had issues with Newman's emotional intelligence. So for me, I would say that he wasn't, he failed to have self-awareness. For instance, self-regulation. Due to his impulsiveness, he was extravagant. He lived an extravagant lifestyle, and this one suggested a very low level of emotional control. So I bet if he had some emotional intelligence, he would have been able to control himself when it came to things like extravagance and the partying life that he had. Yeah.
And he also have the self-awareness, I think, because he is failing to recognize what he has talked, and his limitations, and also his actions can affect the company a lot. And also I think he is not very ready for the company, because I saw their investors or their employees always think he is not very good at the decisions, and always say something is not very match with their topic. I think it's because his lack of the knowledge of this part. He's not very good at this part of knowledge, and he cannot use this knowledge to make some decisions for the company. So I think it's he cannot aware about himself, and he don't know. He is not very good at this part, maybe.
Yeah, so basically he was not self-aware, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, on social skills, and we say that generally he had some skills because he was able to do some marketing for the WeWork, and also to encourage or to persuade people to invest. But his skills were not. We cannot say that we are positive because they are very individualistic, and they are transactional. They are transactional to him, and he failed to. In the long run, he's failed to sustain a long-term relationship when his self-serving actions became polite. So yes, he had some good social skills in that regard, but they are always transactional. They were at NED, which was beneficial to him, and not to the majority of the other people.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would like to add in one more point in this. Like he had like lack of empathy. Like he was charismatic, like, but the thing is, he lacked the empathy for employees. Like he was just focusing on the things which like benefited him, or like the things which showed good returns. Like he just focused on them, but rather than he didn't focus on the company's healthy working environment. So I think so. Like he had like a lack of empathy for his employees. Like he just overworked them. He made very rational decisions which like hurt the employees like on the long run. So he was doing things which was like which were not good for some. It was like unsustainable in the long run. That's what I would like to add upon his empathy skills.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So anybody else with a point
No.
before we close?
No. We need to add one or two more questions for this discussion. It's the.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We can give an overall summary on Newman's thing, so or we can just do like that, or if you want to add one or two more questions, we can talk about.
Oh, the questions I think we can ask is maybe through this case, why do you think the leadership skills is very important for us?
Yeah, because if now see, leader should not like if I would speak in slang, like Newman was a kind of bit selfish, I would say. But leadership skills are important because we don't want them to be like selfish, because leader cannot be selfish. He is leading the company. So that's what I would say. Like I know that's a wrong word to use in a meeting, but that's what I would say about him.
Right.
Like he always focused on himself, on just the numbers. He didn't focus on the employees and all the things. So that's what I would say about. That's why the leadership skills are important, because if you have the skills, you will not do such things which he did and destroy the company's reputation and use the company's funds and all this stuff.
I think, in my view, this guy is. If you are asked to give a bad leader, I think you would run and grab him. It looks like he's a perfect example of a bad leader. So, and the failure to show ethical or to lead ethically is one of the greatest failures that a leader can be, because ethical leadership cuts across so many things. So when you try, when you are not accountable, when you have no integrity, when you are trying to manipulate your followers, that I think that is at the bottom his worth. So I think we need, as leaders, we need to have very high accountability and integrity in our work. Generally, we need to exhibit honesty, even when you are dealing with our either our clients or our followers or those employees. We need to have some level of honesty with them.
I like have a question. Like, does anyone of you feel that Newman was a narcissist person?
Not this person.
I think he was so much.
He had some sort of narcissism in him. Like he had some sort of it. Like
Yeah, some narcissist behavior. He exhibits some narcissist behavior. Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. Even after
Yeah.
that, he exhibited a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if that comes into picture, then that shows that leadership is not where narcissism is there. So even I would go with SK that he wasn't a good leader.
Yeah. So when you look at Newman, I tend to look at some of the political leaders that we have in the in today's world. Some of them can do just anything for their self, like for their personal gains. Like they are ready to trample on everything that comes their way so that they can get to whatever place they want to get to. So yeah, so I when I read about Newman, I saw some of those political leaders that we have in today.
Yeah, so we can also add this point in his the behaviors, like in his traits lacking thing. Like we would say he was like hungry for power too, like how you said, like a politician. So I think so. He was hungry for power too. Like he always wanted to be the leader. He didn't want to step down as a leader. So he completely kept on manipulating people and staying the leader, although he was damaging. But I think so, he knew that he was damaging the company's reputation, but he didn't wanted to get down on it because that would shame him in front of the company. So he would never accepted that he was doing wrong.
I think he knew if he stepped down, there is nowhere else he was going to be hired. So
Yeah.
if I was in his shoes, I was also still not because no one would hire me with those kind of behaviors and lack of good leadership. No one would hire me. So he knew his. I think he knew his fate. Yeah.
But he don't want to do, maybe.
Okay. Anyone would like to add more things?
I like to talk about some good leadership, but not the Newman, because I think.
No, let me ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
If what steps could you have taken if you are the part of the leadership of the WeWork?
Sorry, can you ask it again?
That's a good question.
How could you deal with this person? Like, how could you deal? How could you deal with him?
Yeah, like you're asking, for instance, like we were employed in WeWork and Newman was our leader.
Oh my God.
Like you are part of the leadership. You are the, like, let's say the board of management for this group, and you have this CEO who you have put in place, and he is doing this kind of things.
Okay.
Yes.
For me, I would take the easiest route, which is we were told that the easiest route is like to just let him be, because I don't want to conflict with that guy. You don't criticize him, you just let him be. That would be me, because I wouldn't want anywhere we would meet and start arguing with that guy.
Oh, okay. But I don't want the company to
I think for me,
break down.
I think as a part of a leader, I think it will be very bad to have that person as part of your group, both in the long run and in the short run. So the best thing would be to fire him immediately, and also you collect all evidence of his wrongdoings, and if possible, you take disciplinary action, or even you take him to court for what he has done to your company. So because
let me understand, SK. You said that he was maybe, was he the owner of the company, or you are a lesser, a minor?
No, you are the board. You are the board of directors. You are the management. You are the one who says,
I got
like,
that wrong then. If I was in the board of management, then I would not allow him. When you are an employee, sometimes you just let your boss be, and maybe make a decision of quitting. But if I'm in the board of management, I am pretty sure that you would have made him quit. You would have collected all the evidence.
I think even as an employee, and if we could take like he was the owner, you have the right to whistleblow because you have been told in the Nini he was doing something illegal. He was taking money illegally from the WeWork. So even if he was like the owner of the company they are working with, them, you have the right to whistleblow on that person because it is a criminal offense. So even as maybe you say that maybe you could have now missed on your salary and then you have to struggle going to look for another job.
So it was better to quit if you are an employee. You wouldn't stand that toxicity.
I don't think so he used the company's funds illegally. I think so he misused them. Like, for example, if the company needed 10 computers, he might have bought 15, which was not necessary. So I think so he misused the company's funds rather than like illegally using them. So I would think he did that. I'm just assuming that he just did that because that's what I think. Because if he was taking the company's money away from the company and using for himself, the company's accounting team would obviously notice that and catch him up. But I think so he was not doing that. I think so he was using the company's funds. He was like misusing them. Like it was what was not needed, he was getting that because he had very big ambitions, right? He wanted to expand very rapidly.
Yeah.
So he must have thought like, okay, I'll make workspace for 10 people or 15 people and he'll get 15 computers, 20 computers, and the people he was hiring was like 2 or 3. So that's what I think he did, like he was misusing the company's funds.
I think as right now,
the question SK asked, that was a really good question. Like I would, if I was like in a position higher than him, then I would obviously fire him. But if I was in a position lower than him, then I would team up with my other employees and like go against him because if I go one like alone, he's gonna manipulate things about me. So I'll like team up. I'll make multiple evidences and go up against him because if you are in a position lower than them, then we need a bunch of people to go against him.
Okay.
I think so. Yemen wanted to say something.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, I just want to say like you because we don't want a company has a person like him just focus on himself and not the benefit for other company. So I will fire him also and because I don't want my company to lack of the money because of him. And also I think maybe the company needs a group of people to make the decisions, not just him. They can take up their hands and talk about what they want and what they are thinking about these decisions. If they all agree with this and the decisions will pass, and if not, it will go back. So I think there are some ways that can control the person like the Newman.
Okay. Good.
Any other questions?
Anything? I think we're done.
Yeah, I think we're done. And plus, I think so. We are on a time limit too, so we are approaching 40 minutes.
Yeah. So that's okay. Anything else? You guys have done an amazing job.
No.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ewin and Yurin too.
Okay, I will stop the recording now.